Bonjour.
Bonjour, je suis Mike.
Je suis Jeff, and nous sommes ensemble, the World Wine Guys.
This is the World Wine Guys. Dear friends, we're live from Oakville Grocery. This is a phenomenal day. We're doing the book signing of the century with the boys themselves.
That's right. We are here signing our new book, White Wine.
Yeah, we're actually really excited to be here in Oakville and be here to sign books on this beautiful day. So
what do we do when there's a new book coming up? You're going to have to hold that mic.
Okay.
Because
well, I think we should pop some champagne. Bien sûr. Okay.
Look at this. Woo.
Whoa.
Wow.
Oh, the cameraman didn't need his eyes, Jean-Charles. That's okay.
I was watching. Nobody can see it, but there's a chandelier overhead.
There is a. Thank you.
A bit nervous when that car
There is a baccarat chandelier over our head, and I really admire.
Show it to the world.
Yeah.
A piece of crystal is never bad.
Yeah, exactly.
In a glass of wine. So,
Well,
dear friends, this is a very exciting time because Mike and Jeff, we've been friends for many years. I've witnessed them writing many books to the amount of 6, and this is the 6th or the 7th. And on top of it, so we're going to talk about journalism, book writing, trends, all kinds of things about wine. But look at that, what they do as well, Robb Report. And if you think about Gold is Cool, this is their issue in November of 2022. They write for Robb Reports as well. So this is very exciting. You can meet them every month, and you could have their whole collection of books. So how did that latest book come about?
You know, our previous book was called Red Wine, as you know, and you might have a couple of wines in that one as well. And it was funny, at the time that we wrote, after we wrote Red Wine, it seemed that white wine would be a natural progression. Our publisher was not really keen on the idea. They had the mistaken idea that real wine drinkers only drink red wine.
What?
Which
Crazy.
we think is completely insane.
Yes.
So are we thinking that the next book will be rosé?
You never know. It might be champagne. It might be sparkling. You never know. We were actually really excited to post this book right now, release this book. And then I need a vacation. It's a lot of work releasing a book, you know?
So where do you go on vacation?
We go to the south of Spain. We have a house in the south of Spain. So we'll be laying on the beach in just about
10
8
days.
Yeah, I was going to say 9, but 9 days.
So dear friends, if you want to meet Jeff and Mike, you go to Malaga,
Yes,
Spain.
yes.
That's right.
And that's where you see their beautiful body baking
Yes.
and becoming caramel. And what's your favorite thing to cook in Spain? I heard it's quite exciting.
Yeah, I love to make paella. You know, one of the things that we learned when we moved to Spain was we wanted to cook traditional food. And paella is one of the most, actually paella means para ella, for her.
Ooh.
So it was a dish that was cooked by fishermen. And they would take, the fish heads and all the things that they didn't sell in the market, and they would make a paella with rice. And it was a dish traditionally cooked by men for their wives. Para ella, paella.
So para él.
Para él. Yeah.
Para él is for him.
Pour él, yeah, para él. So but I'm equal opportunity. I will make paella for just about anybody. So,
Well, we're
yes.
excited. How many of you want to come? I'm going.
Okay, super.
We're going to need a much bigger pan.
We're going to need a bigger pan, and we have plenty of wine. That's never the problem.
We're set on that.
So, gentlemen, how did this whole journey start about wine writing and starting together the World Wine Guys?
It's a little bit crazy. It's kind of circuitous, like the best things in life can be. I studied journalism at NYU and did other things. We were talking about this last night. I worked in the fashion industry. I worked in the food industry, and then said, I want to write. And at that point in my life, we're going back maybe about 20 years. I said, you know what? I want to write about what I love. And what do I love? Wine, food, and travel.
And to be able to do what you love and to be able to evolve with such success into what you love is a big achievement. Congratulations.
Thank you. It really is. You're right about that. People talk about that all the time. I mean, there's like entire Instagram feeds devoted to do what you love. You'll never work a day in your life. And I'm going to tell you, we work, but we love our work.
Exactly.
So how did you both meet and how it became world wine guys?
Well, we met originally. We were. Oops! Whoa! We got the book. Oh gosh! So Mike and I met. We were training for the Boston to New York AIDS ride. This is 26 years ago. So it was a 250-mile bike ride in 3 days, and we met on a training ride. And all of a sudden, I recognized that this guy kept riding next to me and talking to me the whole time while I was. Yeah. But anyway, we have been together for 26 years, and I would say about 20 years ago, we said, listen, I think we're in this for the long run. So what do we want to do into our retirement? And I was a sommelier when I was in graduate school in Chicago. Mike studied journalism. We kind of put the two together. We pitched Tom Matthews at Wine Spectator. And our first wine story ever was a 9-page cover story about the Marqués de Riscal and the architecture in Rioja. So we have to thank Tom Matthews for that break.
He's a great friend, and I'm sure.
Yes. So hi, Tom, and thank you again. And then our career just evolved, working with wine enthusiasts. And
I do think we have to point out that shortly after that, our friends at Wine Enthusiast poached us and said, hey, you guys are writing.
Is there a competition between those two magazines?
Maybe a little, but I'll let them speak about it themselves. But our good friends at Wine Enthusiast poached us, and we worked at Wine Enthusiast together for quite some time. And I'm actually, in addition to writing books and I work together on Rob Report, I'm still writing for Wine Enthusiast, and I still am the Spanish editor. I taste Spanish wine.
Well, let's have a toast for Jackie.
Yes.
Jackie and Erica to the future of Wine Enthusiast.
Sybil and Adam Strom, because what a great family as well. Without journalism and without great magazine, where is the wine world? I mean, you do such an amazing job relaying what we're trying to do in the vineyards and in the cellar, and what we do for the world of wine and taste, that it's so very exciting.
Well,
I almost talked into my wine glass, which is some. I do that when we host wine tastings. I do that all the time. I'll have a microphone and I'll just be like, well, hey everybody.
So tell everyone, how is it to live by writing on wine? Because I know you do a lot of speeches, a lot of seminars as well, symposium. But this is so cool. I mean, many people are wondering, how do they make such a glamorous living doing this?
Do you know, we're very blessed. And as one of my friends always says, it takes a lot of hard work to be this lucky. So we've worked really hard, but we are in a wonderful position. We do travel together. We're able to go to visit wineries all around the world. We get to tour the vineyards with the winemaker, go in the cellar and taste the wines out of the barrel. So we do have a very wonderful, wonderful career. And the thing is, we get to do it together, and we get to be friends with wonderful people who make wine.
Thank you. So give us, when you're a couple, as you are, and you live together, you taste wine together, you write about wine together, who starts the sentence and who finishes it?
It's kind of it kind of flows.
It depends on the sentence.
It depends on the sentence. It depends sometimes who has a stronger feeling about it.
Yeah.
Who's going to jump in first? But
and sometimes I know just to be quiet.
That's a good idea.
Does that happen?
No. Well, you know what? We're both. When you have two men, you have two male egos. So that's always a little bit of a challenge. But we respect each other very much. We respect each other's decisions. And sometimes when one of us feels very strongly about doing something or saying something, we let the other one run with it because, we're speaking for the group. We're speaking for the couple. So we both have our best interests at heart. We do disagree sometimes.
So give us an idea of the best disagreement you've ever had. Is it about white wine?
No, it's about words. When we're writing a book or writing an article, we will sometimes fight over one word. No, I want to use voluptuous. No, he wants to use luscious or whatever. And we'll kind of have this disagreement about a word. So in the whole scheme of things, to have a discussion about a word is not a big problem, but it is very serious to us as writers.
And I'll be like, read that sentence out loud. Look, that sounds stupid. Just do you hear that? Like that.
And I love it. So, reading about wine could sometimes be a little dry. And many of you, dear friends, who are not necessarily in the wine world would think, God, they're talking to themselves. You both, the wine boys, the wine guys, have a different style.
Yes.
Define your style to all of us so everybody can be really excited and tempted to pick up a copy every month of Rob Reports. Go on your websites, of course, you'll tell us all about it, and to pick up a copy of this book.
You know, I think one of the things that we make sure that we do, because we do want to tell the story when we write about wine, I think that just to read a tasting note, if you don't have the wine in front of you, you might not have a full connection with that wine, but we like to tell the stories, the stories of the people who make the wine, the vineyards that they grow in. And so first thing we do is we do our homework, and we make sure that we know what we're talking about. If I'm going to say that this is the highest vineyard elevation in all of Napa Valley, I better be damn right about it before I write that down. But then we talk to the people, we talk to the winemaker and tell us what's so special about this vineyard and what are your conditions and what do you do different, and really try to piece together, do our homework, but then also make it an interesting human story. But so if somebody's reading that, whether they're somebody who's completely new to wine and wanders across a copy of Rob Report, say, in an airplane lounge or something like that, and they're reading the article, they're like, wow, that's really cool, I want to know more. Or if somebody's a master somm or a master of wine or something, that they look at it and they even say, wow, I just learned something new about a wine I've been drinking for many years.
So, Jeff, how would you describe that wine? So, you make it simple for all of us. This is JCB 21.
Yes.
And then I'm going to serve you another wine. So, you got to finish?
Okay.
Well, first of all, I'm just going to say that this is an amazing wine. And, sparkling wine is not only champagne. This is a Crémant de Bourgogne. So it is made from the same grapes that we make champagne from. But, Burgundy is a very, very unique growing area for wine. There's, thousands of years of history with the Cistercian monks, or maybe 800 or so, but a lot of years of history. Exactly.
Thousands if we go back to Rome.
The Romans were there as well. But, winemaking in this region has been going on for many, many years, and the winemakers have identified certain climats or certain terroirs that give wine amazing qualities. So I love champagne. Who doesn't love champagne? But I do like a Crémant de Bourgogne because it has a lot of the attributes of a Burgundy wine in your sparkling wine. And by the way, if you're looking to buy an amazing wine that's a little bit less expensive than a champagne, a Crémant de Bourgogne will never disappoint you, especially one's made by Jean-Charles.
Ooh la la, this is luscious.
It is luscious and voluptuous.
Well, thank you for that beautiful description. You can see it's accessible to everyone. When those guys, as they love to be called, the world wine guys, speak, it's accessible. And I'd love for you both, and we're going to zoom on this page, show us this amazing description, because I love the layout of the book. So, dear friend, this is the book we're releasing today, White Wine. And you can see, maybe you want to describe to everyone this page, because I think this is so well done. And I know Dylan will zoom in because he is as good as Coppola behind the camera.
Wow.
I think one thing
that's
Sophia
or Francis Ford?
Combination.
Okay, there you go.
I think that one of the things that was important to us after we wrote Wines of the Southern Hemisphere and Wines of California, those books are super dense and super text heavy.
Yes.
So there's a lot of information in them, but they're completely black and white, and the only illustrations, other than a few maps, are wine labels. Yeah. So when it came time to write red wine, and we rolled the same features into white wine, we actually brought in, at that time, Instagram was becoming really popular, and we went into our publisher with some graphics and said, besides just writing about it, we want some of these little infographics. So we have here pictures of, there's a tasting profile, and it shows you where Sauvignon Blanc falls on the acidity scale, what the body is, the sweetness. Then for tasting notes, there's a little image here of a grapefruit, a peach, and grass. Up here, do you want to talk about food pairings, Jeff?
Yeah, which is so important.
Do you know, wine is, have wine with food. It's nice to have a glass of wine as an aperitif, but wine really does food. So in an effort to really bring that across, we identify some things that go really, really well with each grape variety. Like, for example, Sauvignon Blanc, I love with sushi, but it's also amazing with some beautiful salads, and it's also great with some cheeses, you know.
Which we never think about.
We don't. I mean, and as you know, when you go to Europe, the French and the Swiss especially will always drink a white wine with a cheese. So, you know, when I think of having Gruyere or Comté or something like that, or a fondue, I think about having a red wine. But the Swiss and the French, and especially from Alsace, they're going to have a Riesling or a Chasselas or something like that. So I think one of the things that we always recognize is, let's look at the foods that go great with the wines that we like to drink. And we decided to put that into the book. And then, more importantly, we decided to call out a few of these amazing wines that are available on the market. And we split them into categories. Bargain, which is, you know, $1 to $20.
20, yeah.
Value, which is 20 to 40. And then we have wines called special occasion, which are 40 to 99. And then splurge, bottles that are over $100. So we give the reader an idea of which wines they can look for, which wines will fit into their budget, and which wines they should maybe buy for a special occasion.
Well, which is so cool. As an example today, you have a Sauvignon Blanc here from Elizabeth Spencer.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the North Coast. This is a great wine that Mike and Jeff discovered. And here it is. Difficult to find, very unique, very highly appraised, but Sauvignon Blanc. So what do you think of this wine as an example, and what would you pair it with?
I love this wine. This one has such beautiful aromas. They're so, you know, you have lemon grass, you have...
I'm talking into my glass again. We've got there's grapefruit in the aroma.
Yes.
There also is, but there's also like a chopped parsley and basil.
Fresh herbs,
fresh green herbs. Some Sauvignon Blancs, especially in New Zealand, they start to go like real grassy.
Yes.
This goes more, there is some herbal characteristic to it.
That's right.
But now we have to taste it.
So no, I would have this, because I know this wine very well. I'm going to taste it in a second, but I would have this with fish tacos.
Oh.
I would have this with ceviche. I would have this with sushi.
Yes.
You know, sashimi. And this is a beautiful light wine that go or a salad with chev, for example.
I was going to say chev. I think that a lot, when we talk about white wine and
Goat
cheese,
dear
goat
friends,
cheese,
for the
right?
non-francophile.
Exactly, because we have really good acidity in Sauvignon Blanc, and in this one in particular. And we also have, we don't really think about it, but goat cheese has a tanginess. Goat cheese has acidity to it. So if you have a salad, like a green salad, maybe with some Granny Smith apple slices in it, and some goat cheese,
I'm hungry.
that's going to go really well with this.
Yeah.
So, Jack Lemon, you've written 6 books together.
So
this
far.
is white wine.
So far. So far. I'm talking
Yes.
into my glass again.
Well, we'll do
Wow,
more.
it's
So
contagious.
What are you hoping for this book for people to learn, as well as the wine on red wine?
I think what we really want people to learn, first of all, is that there's more than just a handful of varieties of grape in the world. I mean, I think a lot of people, if you ask them to name white grapes, they'd be able to say, if they even know that these are varieties, they'd be able to say Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, Riesling, Pinot Grigio, and it might stop there for a lot of people.
Moscato.
Moscato. But so we want to expand their horizons and broaden their horizons, and also kind of empower themselves to have a little bit of knowledge. I think there's a lot of mystery around wine, and it's such a beautiful, wonderful thing, but it makes people feel insecure.
That's right.
People go to restaurants or they go into wine shops and they don't know anything.
Sure,
So we really want to empower people to be able to go to a restaurant and have a conversation with the sommelier or the beverage director or their waiter, and not just have someone say, "Oh, this is the perfect wine for you," but have them say, "Well, I like this. I like this style. I like that style. What do you have in my price range that kind of like fits into that?" And I want them to go into a wine shop and be like, "Hey, do you have any? I just read in this book about wines from Croatia and wines from Luxembourg.
Yes.
Do you have any wines from those countries here?" And so I want people to have confidence, but I also would like them to learn to explore more as well.
And I love as well the structure of your book, because even though I've been making wine for 40 years, so many great varieties I don't know. So I've used it, dear friends, for the last few weeks as I've had it. as a reference guide. Many grape varieties you don't know. It's like flowers in a garden. You cannot know it all.
Exactly. Right.
So what are you writing or thinking of writing next? Because you've done 6 books. That's a big deal.
It is. I'm thinking right now of laying on the beach in Spain. So I really can't think too much about the next book. But we've
tanning and wine on the beach.
Tanning and wine. And when we're on the beach, we're going to drink some cava, some Sauvignon Blanc,
Some Albarino.
Some Albarino. So, but no, we've had a wonderful franchise of success with red wine. Our red wine book won the Gourmand International Best Wine Book in the world. So we're very, very blessed for that.
For sure.
And then a few years later, they did a retrospective of the last 25 years, and our book won Best Wine Book in the world in the last 25 years. So we're hoping it's huge, and that's the Cointreau Foundation.
Yes.
Edward Cointreau.
The ultimate reward.
Yeah, and so we're very, very blessed with that and very honored. We hope that white wine does as well, but and we believe that it will. Our publisher, took a chance with us to write this book, white wine, because there is that misconception that people don't drink white wine, serious wine drinkers, but we're serious wine drinkers, all 3 of us.
For sure.
And we
drink white wine.
So
well, look at the assortment of wine, from Corton Charlemagne to Meursault to Burgundy, to obviously Chardonnay from California, Napa Valley, Sauvignon Blanc. I mean, the world of white is very rich.
And then wines like Albarino, Alagote, which you know very well.
Yes.
Arnais, Assyrtiko, Auxerrois Blanc, and that's just the A's. Then we have Bordeaux, white Bordeaux.
Blends from Bordeaux.
But some Italian wines that we never heard of, people never heard of, or grapes like Pošep that come from Croatia. Yeah. So we really wanted to try to educate people. We were told that our red wine book was used by masters of wine as a reference. Wow. So we were very honored for that. But I want to be really clear. Our book is written for everybody.
Yes.
We didn't just write a book for wine experts. We wrote a book for, the bachelorette party that wants to drink white wine. And,
and they're about to come, right?
Yes, I see them there.
Bursting in the door.
You can always tell the bride.
So what is so exciting, Mike and Jeff as well, is you writing with many wine magazines. We've talked about Wine Spectator.
Yes.
We talk about Wine Enthusiast. Now, the big deal is you now writing, dear friends, for Robb Report, which is not necessarily a wine magazine per se, but a very luxurious magazine.
Yes.
Where luxury is without any compromise.
Exactly.
And this is obviously a big deal. So how did that come about, and you're excited about it, obviously.
We're very excited. We, as wine writers, you're always looking for something else and kind of another outlet. And so we've actually written for a lot of different websites and pieces here and there for other magazines. And we had wanted to write for a luxury magazine, and we pitched Robb Report and got one article in. And then once you have a relationship with an editor, you continue to get in touch, and you're like, hey, I have another idea. Hey, I have another idea. Did that for a couple of years. And then they reached out to us and asked us. They said, we're looking to bring in a new wine editor. We know you're 2 people, but we'd like to bring you in kind of as one body, as our contributing wine editors.
Yeah, and we, for that, Robb Report had a previous editor, and she did a wonderful job. And I think she's, gone her separate ways and working for another publication right now. So we're really happy.
We love her, Sarah Schneider.
Sarah, she's a lovely woman. And so when Robb Report reached out to us, said, we're very much interested, but it seems you have wine coverage already. And they really were looking for us, to be able to write about California. But I think that having a house in Spain was really attractive to them because we do speak Spanish, we do speak French, Italian, and we travel to all of those other wine regions. So, our moniker is the World Wine Guides, and we really believe that we should have a world knowledge of wine. So,
which I can testify they really do. So now, what haven't you yet done that you wish you want to do?
Sleep as late as I want through my alarm and not wake up in a panic that there's something, some piece of work that I haven't done that day. That's my dream.
Do you share the same, Jeff?
Well, my dream, and I'm sorry to sound like a broken record, keeps going back to laying on that beach in Spain. That's a dream. You know, honestly, we are so lucky that we do what we want. You know, I have a lot of friends who are Broadway actors, and when you ask them how they are, they say, living the dream. It's just, that's what they say. And we are living our dream. We've created this wonderful world of the books that we write, the magazines that we write for, so we are living our dream. There's always, other dreams. I would like to have more time to do volunteer work. That would be a dream that I would like to do. Mike and I were very honored that we were able to work with Jose Andres last summer on the Polish and the Ukraine border. So, cooking for the refugees. So I would like to have more time to do volunteer work, and that would make me very happy.
And the wine boys, the wine guys and boys? What's your advice to the world now, in a few words, for everyone who is with us? You've lived the dream. You've been together for a quarter of a century, which is a big deal. You are bicultural, which is very cool. You're European and American. You speak the language of wine, which is the 7th language you need to add to your course.
Exactly.
And you're inspiring a soul. So maybe you want to say to people who are looking for their future, give them an advice.
You go ahead.
Yeah, I would just say, really, never give up. I mean, this sounds a little bit, light, but really plan what you want to do. You have to write down the list of what you want to do, make your plan, and then you have to live your plan. And it's ladder, it's steps on a ladder, rungs on a ladder. So if you continue to do what you want to do, you'll eventually have your dream, but never give up, because life will knock you down, and it certainly does. But that said, you have to get up and you have to climb up that next rung, and you'll eventually have what you want. So don't give up. That's what I would say.
And I'm going to add to that, which is, as Jeff just said, life will knock you down. Don't knock yourself down. I think that all of us, and anyone who's successful, we all do have, there's a negative voice in your head. Yes. And that negative voice can also be a constructive voice. Don't do it that way, do it this way. But don't talk yourself out of things. If there's really something that you want to do, however wild it sounds, and however wild it sounds to other people, just go ahead and, like Jeff said, plan your life and live your plan. But don't say, I'm too old, I'm not well educated enough, I'm too fat, I'm not attractive enough, I'm not smart enough. Just say to yourself, I can do it and I will do it, and go out there and do it.
Dear friends, live your dream. They are inspirational speakers as well now, motivational speakers. The wine guys, congratulations for all what you've done for the wine world. A quarter of a century together is a great inspiration. And, dear friends, let's never forget, we're here to promote diversity, unity, freedom of choice, and hoping that we could do anything we want in life. And to keep dreaming, and to keep doing, and to keep walking, and to keep attacking is the way to live our life. So, to Mike and Jeff.
And to Jean-Charles.
The World Wine Guys. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.